Welcome back to the Trading Roux, home of the swamp mob. Today we're tying it all together from loading phase to the lock candle and learning how to read the entire story of a move, not just one candle. If you've been following the Wolf Chart 2.1 series, you've learned how each phase builds onto the next. In this video, we're stacking them all together so you can finally read price like a story. Because when you know where you are in the cycle, you stop chasing and start confirming. Phase 1, base building, flat WTMA. Phase 2, momentum building. The slope appears and energy forms. Phase 3, the floating candle, the confirmation spark. Phase 4 is the arc confirmation, which is the validation of the structure. Phase 5 is the 12 cloud, which shows strength and continuation. And tying it all together is the lock candle law. Basically, this is the discipline before execution. Because without the lock candle, you don't follow the law, you will get burned. All 5 of these create one rhythm, aka the wolf cycle. Just to see if you guys are with me or not, I'm going to start asking questions throughout the video. So for the first question, what does a floating candle confirm? A, reversal intent. B, emotional reaction. Or C, noise filter. The answer is A. The floating candle tells us where the market's showing its hand. The entire story, aka phase 6, is about position awareness.
Where am I? What year is it? Is The Rock president?
Every phase is a scene in the story, and phase 6 teaches you how to read which scene you're in. So here are the core concepts. When the WTMA and cloud align, you are mid-story, aka continuation. When the arc forms against the WTMA, this is a plot twist, which is known as a reversal. The lock candle equals chapter ending and phase reset. Phase confirmation stack for clarity. So the WTMA flows into the floating candle flows into the arc flows into the cloud, and the cloud flows into the lock candle. All right, another question. What is a lock candle? A, any large candle. B, a candle that closes confirmation. Or C, mid candle flicker. If you chose to answer B, yes sir, you're right. It is the candle that closes confirmation. Mid candle is noise, and the lock candle seals the deal. All right, let's go look at some chart examples. So here we have Nvidia on the 1 hour time frame. I chose this one because it has the full spectrum of everything we've went over the past few weeks. So as you can see, we have a flat WTMA, aka the loading phase. We have a floating candle and the locking candle right here to the upside. But as you can see, it hits a hard rejection at the top. All right, so on the down move, you have a fresh inverse arc right here. And look at this flicker candle. See that flicker? So basically, the flicker faked you out, faked the buyers out. And when they got in, it sold off even harder. All right, so now we have a fresh inverse arc. We have a candle locking the trend in, going to the upside. More than likely, the next candle after this candle would be a floating candle, which meaning that it opens and closes above the 12 EMA without touching. That is your sign to get in. And as you can see, we have excellent trade range on this Nvidia stock. Let's look at one of the stocks that I called out in my Discord on Sunday, November the 2nd. As you can see, this candle right here is October the 31st. just to confirm that I found this stock over the weekend. Friday, October 25. Well, October 31st, 25. Halloween, actually. All right. Here's my Discord right here. As you can see the date. 11/2 at 3:10 a.m. Yes, I put in work. But anyway, I knew they had earnings coming up. I mean, I expected good earnings, but of course, they double miss. But sometimes that doesn't mean anything, especially in these days. A company will double beat and they will drop $58. So, as we can see, we had a fresh inverse arc here. And then on this down move, it unraveled. So now we have a flat WTMA and 12 EMA cloud together. Any spark of news would have sent this stock down to about $11 or to where we are currently, $18.26. So my bias was bullish. So the price targets that I received from Black Wolf was $17.75, $19.80, and $23.60. As you can see, we have already surpassed price target 1 of $17.75. $17.75 is about right here. All right. So with this flat WTMA and EMA, well, 12 EMA, we knew a big move was coming. So we got news about the shutdown possibly ending, and that sent this stock on a tear. As you can see, we have an aggressive move on the volatility status on the ATR. This was a $2.97 move when the average volume, when the average movement of this stock is $1.74. So it almost doubled its daily movement. And though every time frame, as you can see, every time frame, the stock is bullish. So here's the 1 month, here's the 1 week, here's the 3-day. As you can see, the 12 EMA retest is a great thing to look for. Look at that. That's the 1 day. Here's a 4-hour. Lock candle right there. 2 hour. Lock candle right here. Floating candle right here. Locking in the trend. Let's look at the 1 hour. As you can see, lock candle before the inverse. And the next candle was a floater. So in this case, the floating candle was the lock candle. So strong momentum. Phase 6 is patient made visual. When you can identify the scene, you can control the pace. That's how pros trade, not by prediction, but by confirmation. If you answered any of the questions in the video, drop your answers below. Which questions did you get right? Which did you get wrong? And if you got them wrong, you can come join us in the Trading Roux or the Wolf Empire to learn what we learned. And if this helped you see the story clearer, comment, learn, or join us in the Trading Roux, home of the swamp mob. We trade with eyes, not emotions. The link's in the bio. You have a good weekend.